Good afternoon, everyone. This is Judge Middleton. I'm here at the courthouse in Centerville, and it's time for our small claims docket. Mr. Thrasher, I'm going to ask you to take your hat off. You are in a court proceeding. And
sorry, sir.
Forget that.
A few moments later.
All right, this is a claim for the statutory maximum in small claims court, $6,500. Missing property from Alan's divorce was stored at Alexandria's residence and refuses to return my items. I do not want around meth heads. Mr. Thrasher, why do you believe that Alexandra owes you $6,500?
Well, my daughter's dishes, they're probably worth at least $2,000-3,000. My radio alarm saw, Craftsman, that's $1,000. My table saw from my dad, that's 5 bills. My log mirror that goes to my log bedroom set, that itself was $200. My dad's walking sticks, my tools that were in her shed also, at least $2,000-3,000. Brand new car jack, which I have the receipt for from I bought at Harbor Freight, and 8-foot picnic table. That's another $400 or $500.
All right,
Plus,
let's stop. One thing I didn't do is I didn't put everybody under oath. So would you both please raise your right hand and swear or affirm that any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Now, when you say it's worth $2,000 or $3,000 here, or you're just taking a scientific wild ass guess about how much this stuff is worth. And so we need to establish some sort of real values. But before we even get to that, Alexandra is your daughter, is that correct?
Currently, yes.
Currently.
Right. Yes. And you were married to her mother?
For a very short time. Yeah, it was a year.
All right. And
That's
you
it.
got divorced from her mother. Is that correct?
Correct.
And somehow Alexandra became in possession of these items.
They were from my last wife, Renee Britton. The items came from my parents' house originally that I inherited to keep until these children, both my girls, were able to be adults and accept the valuable items. And that was instructed by my parents to do so.
Let me see if I can figure this out. Who are your parents?
My parents?
Yes. And they left you this house?
They left me with all the items that I had gotten out of my divorce from Renee.
All right. Who is Renee to Alexandria?
Nothing.
Stepmom, or just she's my ex-wife. She's no relation to Alex.
All right. So when you got divorced from Renee, you got these items.
Correct.
And where were they kept?
I had 2 storage sheds outside of town, but the 8x8 storage shed, Alexandria had 2 storage sheds, and she we put all the rest of the stuff in the 8x8 storage shed with my youngest daughter, Brian Oswalt, and we put all this stuff into Alex's storage shed.
All right, now where was this storage? Where was this storage shed?
It was at her residence.
Which was where? Which is her address. All right, so these items were put in her storage shed. All these items that you're now claiming you are owed for were placed in her storage shed?
That was out of my my parents passed away a few months before my divorce from Renee Britton, and so Alex told me I could put the rest of the things in her storage shed, and then she tried to kick me out, which I contacted the police department. And
all right, well, back up. So was everything at the address?
except for my bed and my deer heads.
All right, were you living with Alexandra?
Yes, sir.
And this was her house?
Yes, I was paying $200 a week.
All right, well, so you moved in to your daughter's house and brought all this stuff and put it in her storage shed. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So at some point you left. Tell me about that.
Well, she got angry with me because of I suspected the drug use again, and was told by her husband to my youngest daughter and her stepsister that there was meth in the house, and I didn't want to be there no more. Alex told me to get the F out, so I had left, but I didn't get all the things that I brought from my divorce. I didn't get it all, and she refuses to let me have it. And her younger sister and her fiance helped me move all that stuff into Alex's shed from my parents. That is, a lot of that came from my parents, which is more valuable than any money that is on this earth.
Well, do you understand that I won't be ordering that she return the property? If you get anything, I'll be ordering that you get money. So you moved out of Alexandra's. When was that?
May of last year, or May of this
May.
year.
May of 2022.
Yes.
Yep.
We have had cops out here
All right,
twice. And I couldn't
Alexandra, I'll
believe.
get to you. I'll get to you in a
Okay.
minute.
No
All
problem.
right, so you moved out in May of 2022 and you left a number of these items there. Is that correct?
Because the police officer wouldn't let me go in and take them.
That was April 27th
April 27th.
when she kicked him out.
What's your name?
I'm Rebecca Thrasher. I'm the youngest.
Alexandra's your sister?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand as well. Do you swear or affirm? That's your left hand. You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give here will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do.
All right. So you moved out and you left a number of these items there. And you say she refuses to return them. Tell me about that.
Well, I contacted the police department. I contacted Mr. Britton, and I told him, I says, she's kicking me out, so I had to leave. And he says, oh, so you moved out. You can't go back in. You're not going to get your stuff. You have to take her back to court. So that's why I'm here.
You muted your microphone accidentally.
Yeah, sorry. My oldest daughter just came back from school, so I had to make sure she was quiet.
All right, and your dog. All right, Alexandra,
Yes, sir.
what's your side of the story? Please sit down in one spot. You're making me
I'm
dizzy.
trying not to let my phone die. I apologize. That's the only reason why I'm moving. So my dad is correct. In end of April, beginning of May, he was asked to leave the residence. Actually, he was asked to leave twice. One willingly. The second time I said, finally, that's it. I'm done. He is being disrespectful to everybody in the house, which is me and my husband. I don't understand anything that he says that my husband said, because my husband said that's not true. As for his belongings, yes, he did store stuff here. They were put out for him to get, and he came and got. My sister came and helped him come and get those. My shed has none of his stuff in it. My house has none of his stuff in it. Some of the stuff that he asked for from my grandma, I specifically said, okay, I wanted to keep them, but here, take them. My aunt was here during that time.
All right, who's your aunt?
That's my dad's sister.
All right, now some of this stuff, you say, well, some of this stuff is vague. Porch swing, 6 windows, air compressor, bird bath, skunk statues, radial arm saw, tools, entertainment center, blankets, family pictures. And it wasn't clear what he's received and what he hasn't. And it's also not clear what the value of this stuff is.
Priceless.
Well, perhaps to you, but I've got to, I'm not sure how much a Cheech and Chong bong is worth, but that's on here.
But I'm the drug.
So anyway, where is all this stuff?
That's a good question. I don't have it. I cannot carry any of stuff like that. Yes, I did see that, but he does not just have deer heads and a little bit of items in those 2 storage units. My husband and I also did help him take all that stuff to 2 storage units, which is where they went.
Slow down. So we've got this 8x10 shed or 8x8 shed, and we heard something about storage units. Where
Right.
are the storage units?
There's 2 storage units right outside of Three Rivers on 131 that he put those stuff in. I don't even have an 8x10 shed anymore. That got sold probably 2-3 months ago because it was empty, because nothing was in it. I was just wasting space on my property. I have 2 sheds. One of them is halfway empty because I don't have very much belongings because I just moved here last May. So May of 21.
All right, so someone actually stole this shed in question?
Sold it. I sold it.
Oh, sold it.
Yes. I
All
sold
right,
it.
so you're saying some of this property went to a storage unit on 131?
Yeah, like all the bigger things, like his tools and all that stuff. There's a toolbox and whatever tools he got from my grandparents' house that he divvied up with my uncle. I didn't actually see everything that he had. I didn't carry a lot of stuff. That was my husband and Becky's fiance and my dad. And Becky and I didn't carry much either. I mean, we carried a little bit of stuff. Now, everything that was inside the house got put out for him to pick
Whatever
up.
he took from your house, he took to a storage unit on 131?
I don't know where he took it. I didn't see where he took it.
Well, what do you know about 2 storage units on 131?
So when he moved out of his wife's house, we got a U-Haul for him. We both did. My sister and I both went with him to his ex-wife's house to get all his belongings. Then we took all that bigger belongings to those 2 storage units.
Can I say something?
Yeah, in a bit.
The storage units that he has are small.
All right, well, wait, I haven't gotten to you yet. I'm finishing with her. I'll give you a chance to weigh in here. All right, now, you also enclosed some these have exhibit stickers on them. What is that from? A divorce?
Yeah, that's from the divorce.
That doesn't prove that he brought it here. That just proves that
I
he got
understand.
them.
I understand. So where was the divorce?
St. Joe County.
Yeah, none of this proves that it's there or what its value is. Your entire claim.
Well, I have a witness that of all the stuff in
Well,
that 8x8 shed.
I'm gonna hear from her in a minute. But a lot of this stuff, cram all this in 8x8 shed. I can't, that exhibit isn't very helpful. I can't tell who got what. But there's some other stuff in here.
Oh yeah, the dryer. The dryer that was bought
Yeah,
from in-laws in rehab.
All right, well, hold on a minute. There are some messages on your phone. And you're
Yes.
posting those, Alexandria?
Yes, I am. So that is the way he has been texting me and my husband since this. When he left, that is the type of treatment I was getting. He would randomly show up at my house saying this, that, call me names. He's texted my husband. He stops at my house talking to my husband in rude ways. I mean, it's pretty much harassment. I have asked to be left alone.
All right, let me read this. It says F, these are from your dad, Alan Thrasher.
Yes, sir.
What's the date of these?
If I could look at my phone, I could probably look, but it's right after he moved out.
All right, so sometime this spring.
Yes.
You're a piece of shit, just like you, meth whore. And if you want a piece of me, you know where I'm at. No wonder Jordan got the best of you. Come confront me, you would find out you're a stupid little bitch and you're with a meth whore. Do something. So is he sending that to your husband?
Yes, he is.
Coward. Now, who
Yes.
says that? All right. Already informed the police. Also have a twisted life. You're a meth head too, so bye, bitch. Hope she does her kids a favor and kills herself next time. That's from your dad to your husband?
Yep. And the next text message that I sent you is the text I got
All right,
from
we'll
my
do that
father.
one. Telling your ex so your kids don't be around meth. Bye, nigger. So the next one is texts he sent to you.
Yes.
Part of it's cut off, Alan. Something done quicker. I'll be sure to be home by 4 as well. Are the green ones you or him? No, the green ones are you. Then it says bringing the police. And you say, for what? Your stuff is out. Sorry, go ahead. You, me, and the cops. Let's go, you say. Then he says, I hope for the kids' sakes you kill yourself. They don't need a meth whore in their life. Spelled there wrong. If I treated my dad the way you treat me, I would have got my ass beat. After your dad tells you that you're a meth whore and you should kill yourself, he doesn't like the way you're treating to him.
Yep.
Poor baby. It's fake. Yeah, but it's fake.
And then this goes up into September. I'm not sure that's helpful. Anyway, Then in your letter, you say, I do not owe my father anything. My
I
father
don't.
bought me a new dryer from Aaron's on a revised payment plan in June of 2021 when I was away at rehab. This was a gift. He told everyone this. This was because mine stopped working and he was proud of me for doing it myself. Also, as for his belonging, he stored all of his stuff besides his everyday things within 2 storage units outside of Three Rivers on 131. Alan lived with me while living here. He raised my electric bill by $200 a month due to growing extensive amounts of marijuana in my basement. Cops came out to my house twice because he was harassing me and my husband. See attached text. He was given his things. The porch swing came from my grandparents. He took everything else. The least he could do is give me that and my dryer. So you're asking for the porch swing and the dryer.
And a little bit of
All right.
peace.
All right, Miss Thrasher, what do you want to tell me? You were wanted to weigh in on this.
Well, I just wanted to say that those storage units that he has outside of Three Rivers are very small. The size of his mirror that goes with his dresser would not fit in there by itself. It's way too big. So there was a numerous amount of stuff that did not fit in those tiny little storage units that we had to move to the house. And I'm going to mention that the stuff that Alex has mentioned or said to not only but my father, but me, hasn't been that nice either. And the way that she treated him sometimes, they treated each other both crappy, not gonna lie, but she doesn't live alone. She has 2 other couples that live with her that weren't paying rent, that were using water, using electricity, and she never made them pay rent. But my dad, even though she had mentioned to him that she didn't want him paying rent anymore because she wanted him to focus on the house, he was still willingly to give her money. And I have a text message proof that states that her electricity only went down to 125, down 125 bucks. So
My
with
electricity was
$200
$350.
All right.
only
Alexandra,
having
I give you-
175,
All right,
even
all
if
right,
the
so-
electricity was 200.
all right.
He was
So this
here.
is all still a big mess. He's calling his daughter a meth whore and telling her to kill herself. I'm ashamed to even be here. There's a bunch of stuff that has some undetermined value from your divorce from Miss Britton. Some of it's in 2 storage units. Some of it was crammed into this 8x8 thing. And you believe it's worth $6,000 because some of this is this and some of this is this. It's about clear as mud. This is a family fight. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Anyway,
I agree. I just want my things back.
well, she
That's
says
all
she
she has to
doesn't
do.
have.
I mean, if she don't give me my things back, and she wants to be around.
Which are
That's
all in jail. And I
All
don't
right,
speak
all
to
right.
any of them.
Stop. We're on a live feed here. Well, that's not really relevant to this. So Alexandria, he says, I don't have my stuff and I want it. And I don't think he just plucked that out of the air. How much this stuff is worth, I have no idea. Your version is, I don't have it and I have no idea where it went. So the truth is somewhere in the middle.
No, I have
He
that dryer.
wouldn't go through all this effort to file this lawsuit if he didn't feel he was missing some property.
My dad is a man who likes to hurt people. He's doing it to his ex-wife right now, still trying to get money out of her. I have a dryer that, yes, he bought me while I was in rehab, which is what he attached. I don't have tools. I don't have any reason to have those tools.
How much was the what was the purchase price on the dryer?
I don't know. He got it for me as a gift because mine gave out. And since he was living here, he said, well, I need to still do my laundry and stuff. And here's a gift for you. You know, I'm proud of you, which I had my dad live with me because I wanted all the riffraff out of my house. I wanted away from everybody. I wanted to get sober and stay sober, and I am. And when he was asked to leave, it's like now he wants the money for all that back, but he's supposed to, I don't know, protect his daughter. He's supposed to want to congratulate her and keep her going and stuff. I don't understand why now I have to pay for the gifts that he's given me. I do have the porch swing, which was from my grandparents' house. I would love my grandma's bird bath. He wanted her hutch or whatever, and I had to pull that outside to give to him. Everything that was so freaking heavy that I couldn't barely move, I moved and gave back to him. I really do not have it.
My radio alarm saw was heavier than everything, and it was in your shed.
I don't have it. I never had that. I'm not arguing with you. I'm talking to the judge.
I'm not arguing with you either.
That's the way it's supposed to work. This exhibit from the divorce isn't helpful at all. I can't make head or tail out of it. And in your claim, missing property from Alan's divorce. So I think your daughter actually wrote this out rather than you. Missing properties from Alan's divorce was stored in Alexander's residence, refuses to return my items. So you're not asking for the return of the items, you're asking for the maximum allowable amount of damage. And I can't tell from your claim what it is.
There's about table saw, the log mirror, Craftsman radio alarm saw.
Just a minute. How do I know which items you're claiming are missing?
Because I have my other daughter here that was there and witnessed.
Well, I mean, based on what
He
you
wasn't there
filed,
when your stuff was out.
but based on what you filed, how do I know what it is that's missing?
Rebecca was there when everything happened.
And so was
Okay.
my husband. So what? We're going to do tit for tat?
Stop. So you file a list of property that came from your divorce, which isn't helpful.
The only thing on that list I got is my deer heads, my grow lights, and my log furniture bedroom set. That is it. The rest of it was in Alex's shed or in her house. And like
All right, well,
Becky's dishes.
Who made up this list?
My lawyer.
Which is who? All right. So there's stuff in here. I went through a case just like this. 2 skunk statues, a half a can of paint, 2 pig heads, animal skins, guano. Who wants guano? Clothing, dishes, H's daughter. Who is H?
Husband.
All right, husband's daughter. Dishes. So those are the dishes you're talking about?
Becky has dishes that was in Alexandria's house that has Becky's name on them that are antique, that are worth $3,000 just themselves.
Okay.
And Alex will not give my daughter her inheritance from my grandparents or
All
from
right,
my
well,
parents.
So A, I don't know what they are. B, they aren't worth $3,000 just because you say they're worth $3,000.
They
So
were
these
appraised, sir.
All right, by who?
My mother had them appraised and then had them packed up with a price on them.
All right, well, Alexandria, where are those dishes?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you. When he brought them here, they had some of them that broke on the cement. I could tell you that much. And I don't know what they decided to do with them after that.
Who's they?
My husband and my dad, because my dad and I actually cried over it together, that he broke dishes that were my grandmother's, actually my great grandmother's. And I don't know where he put them after that.
They're in the house with Becky's name in them in a tote.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. I'm not stupid. I don't do drugs.
There you go, Your Honor. Can we just finish,
All right.
please?
Yes, all right,
Thank you.
Mr. Trash. Tell me about the dryer.
I made all the payments except for the last 2 payments, and I never gave it to her as a gift. She needed a new one to use while I was there, and I said it can stay there as long as I am there. If I am not there, I'm taking my dryer with me.
And the dryer is still there?
Apparently.
Yes, sir. The dryer is still here. I have text message proof from him, from other people from him, that is a gift to me.
That is incorrect, sir.
All right, what's the value of the dryer?
I have no idea.
Approximately 12.
What?
The paper that he gave you is all the payments that he has supposedly made on it. I could go get a copy from Aaron's as well because it's at my address. They said that if I wanted to, I could make the remainder payments, which I don't mind making the remainder of the payments and keeping it.
No, I want my dryer back.
Well, you don't own it. It's a lease, and the lease is in your name.
Aaron said that the dryer stays where the address that it is leased at. They had come out here twice because he stopped making payments on it, and they refused to take it out of my house because they said it stays where the address is.
All right.
So I don't,
So-
like I said, I do not mind making the remainder of the payments to pay it off. To Aaron's, of course, not my father.
Mhm.
And pay me back for the payments I made.
No, sir, I do not. Because that's a gift.
I don't give things away.
You paid a total of $719.56 on the dryer. And the lease is in your name, not in Alexander's name. So she doesn't own it either. There were 45 payments. That doesn't sound right. He made 10 of 45 payments. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't show how much is due. Paid $659.
When I talked to Aaron's last, it was like under $100 to $200. I mean, if it's a dryer he wants back, I can have Aaron's come and get it, and they can make him take it from there. I mean, if that's what it is, that's gonna determine $6,500 or our relationship or
Well-
everything. A dryer, come get it.
Well, he
No,
doesn't.
I want the rest of my stuff.
I don't have
Your
it.
Honor,
Yes.
Your Honor, there's 2 more items that is on that list that I'm willing to die for, to be honest.
Lord. But it's
And
priceless, and you want money
I-
instead of that.
Stop.
Okay,
Go ahead.
my father passed away and my grandfather passed away, and I had their military flags put in a case.
Then where did those go? 'Cause I've
Alexandria,
never even seen that.
Stop, Alexandria. I'll give you a chance to speak, but you can't just blurt things out.
those 2 flags were also in the shed. Okay. Those, I honestly, Middleton, you've known me all these years. I will die for my dad and my grandfather's military flags that was also in that shed.
All
Those,
right, well, the problem is you're not suing for return of the property. That's called claim and delivery. You're suing in small claims court for money damages. So I don't have the authority to order to her to return anything. And you're right, I've probably known you since 1982 or so.
Is that a good thing or a
And
bad thing?
those, but those flags are my family's heirloom.
all right, well, I understand that.
And I don't
But-
want my, I don't
Asia
want,
says she doesn't have them, then maybe you shouldn't have put them in a rickety metal shed on 5th Street and left them
Exactly.
behind when you moved out. So it's like these are treasures. They were treated like an old shoe rather than a treasure. And the
Right.
problem is I can't order, I mean, I can say, Alexander, return the flags. She says, I don't have them. There's intervening people in here. There is her husband who was involved in moving it, others, and I have no way of establishing a value on any of this. And your response is to call her a meth whore and tell her to go kill herself for the betterment of her children. I was trying
That's
to
the
get
reason.
my head around the dryer, but it's a lease in your name. She's in possession of it. It belongs to Aaron's. I'm not going to order her to pay on that because I can't figure it out. And you've asked for $6,500 for indeterminate property of indeterminate value. And I'm trying to figure out
So
where it is.
what do I
Stop,
have to see?
Stop. I have tried to figure this out. And as I said, you wouldn't be filing this lawsuit if you didn't feel you were not missing this property. You're under oath, she's under oath. She says you're mean and vindictive and you're doing this just to screw with her. You say she's a meth head and she got rid of all your property. You want her to return it. She does not have it. I take her at her word. Either you got it, somebody stole it, it was sold for money to somebody else. I believe all these things that you claim as treasures are gone. I don't believe those dishes are in the house. I don't believe that tub full of flags are in the house. I don't believe that your radio saw is there. I don't know if it's in your storage shed, her storage shed. She sold it. Somebody stole it. I don't know where it is. You would like to have it back. For example, the things that are of personal value to you, you would rather have them than money. She says she doesn't have them and she doesn't know where they are. And you're saying that she is liable to you for this damage. This is a family dispute as a result of the movement of property after a divorce. Where did you and Renee live together? She lived. All right, yeah, she just had that. So I have no idea what's missing and how much it's worth. And you are the plaintiff and you have the burden of proof to prove what is missing and how much it's worth.
It's all missing except the items I told you about.
All right. So then there's the next issue. Is it missing is she responsible for the fact that it's missing? She says, I don't have it and I don't know where it is. I don't know whether it's true or not. But the shed is gone. So the stuff isn't in the shed. And this was not an eviction. She simply ordered you to move, and eventually you moved. And so the Three Rivers Police got right in the middle of a family property dispute. All right, Miss Wired, anything else you want to tell me?
No, if I had his stuff, he'd have his stuff. I don't want his stuff. I want peace. I want him to leave me alone. I want him to stop driving by my house. I want him to stop texting me. I want him to stop getting a hold of my mother because he's sending my mother texts and messages. I want him just to leave me alone.
I kind of got lost a
I
little bit
actually
in your
even got a
family
call
history.
at work.
Alexandra, who is your mother?
Mom and was married to my mom for 10 plus years. That is Rebecca's mom too.
Okay. All right, Alan.
Yeah.
Plaintiff, I'm gonna give you the, well, before that, Alexander, where do you think this stuff is?
Well, I wish I could tell you because all I know is that the stuff was in a storage unit and whatever he picked up that day that he grabbed all his stuff. When I sold my shed on my property, it was empty. All I had in it was like a pool for my kids, a couple miscellaneous chairs and stuff. I don't have any windows. I don't have any. I would love my grandmother's bird bath feeder. I would love those things for my grandmother. That's all I would have. I have nothing because he asked me for the things that I had and I gave it to him that day. I have the swing on the porch and I have, that's it.
All
We
right,
have
did
another
you see-
shed.
Did you see the big things like a table saw and a radio
No.
arm saw?
No. Well, I'm sorry. Yes, my husband can probably use something like that, but I definitely could not. And I was not married at the time. We were engaged to be married. And at that time, my husband was ordered to leave too because of the same reason my dad left. Because they both were on some BS. And that's because they were both, I don't even know how to explain that. There's a family feud. My dad got in between me and my fiance, caused some problems, which is how my dad got asked to leave. My husband and I ended up working things out. So my husband wasn't even here when those things were gone. Here.
All right, Mr. Thrasher, go ahead. You get the last word.
I think I've done far the burden of proof of the things I had. My other two storage sheds were 5 by 10. No, 5 by 8. 5 by 8, two 5 by 8 storage sheds. And then the rest of my stuff was in that shed. Alexandria she's lying because she told me a few months ago, give me back the curio cabinet and you can have your stuff back.
No, I did not.
Alexander, stop.
My other daughter here is a witness to that text message. Yeah, I can, if I give back my mom and dad's curio cabinet and she'll give me the rest of my stuff back. So the other stuff is in her other shed with my brand new car jack and her husband has no teeth also because they just do all that. There's just those, I'm not saying they do it now, but what I'm saying is that's the type of people they were hanging around. And so my things and my parents' things, if they're missing, I want to be rewarded something back for it, because even my youngest daughter, Becky, those dishes that were in the house were my youngest daughters, and I was instructed by my parents to give them the 2 flags. Those are like gold to me. And she has them, and she's not going to tell you the truth. And for the last 40 years of my life, Your Honor, I've always told the truth, no matter what or how it hurts. I will tell it like it is. And like I told Stutzman in my divorce, I don't care who I offend, who I hurt, but I'm going to tell the truth, because those are my personal items. And it was Alexandria's husband, first of all, and I don't keep text messages because I don't really care. He threatened me. That's why I came back and said, you know where I live. It's no big deal. He's not going to come out. That's the type of person he is. And that's the type of the people that Alexandria hangs around, that I would like to have my stuff back that I got from, inherited down from my parents, that were praised. They were awarded to me, and I wasn't supposed to pass them down until it was my choice to analyze my own children so they can have them. At this point in time, with the drug use and even my daughter Becky, I'm not giving Becky her things, not until she gets older, period. Until I know these people are going to be okay when it's time for me to go in 25 years. You're not going to get it. It was awarded by my parents. I don't lie. It might not be the best words that I say, and Alexandria and her husband might not do meth now, but her friends did. Her husband said it right to Becky, admitted to Becky there was meth in the house. I can't be around people like that. A little bit of marijuana? Oh, yeah, a little bit of marijuana, that's okay. You know, it helps me sleep. But all these items are gone. And I just want a monetary value, or she can just give them back. It's just this simple. I mean, we didn't have to come to this. I didn't ask to go to court. That's why I took so long to file this paperwork, so she could come to her senses and maybe think a little bit. But apparently it don't work that way with her. She's a lot like her mother. But those items were instructed by me. I mean, there's all those tools, a cabinet full of tools. Just the cabinet and the tools were at least $3,000-$4,000. Dishes appraised for $3,000. My log bedroom furniture is partly still in her own bedroom because it's a long mirror and it won't fit in the other storage unit. I mean, all that stuff is worth twice as much as that $6,500. Twice as much. But she refuses to give it to me because of whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know what or how she's thinking. I have not a clue. But the stuff I had in that 8x8 shed was worth at least twice as $6,500. $6,500 is just a scratch. It's just a little scratch of what that stuff means to me. And she knows this. That's the whole point. She knows how much it means to me. So she's going to do whatever she can do or say whatever she can say for me to not have that stuff, because she knows how much that means to me. And I'm not that vindictive to do it. She is, but I'm not. But I'll take the $6,500, cut my ties for the rest of my life, and that's it, Your Honor. You've known me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I just can't. I'm too old. I'm too old to lie about things. I'm too old to sugarcoat things, and I'm just too old. And you know, I'm not going to deal with it. And my younger daughter got a good head on her shoulders. She's smart, works at H&R Block, doing, you know, I'm proud of her. She's got everything going for her. And the new house that I'm building, she gets it.
All right,
I mean-
Miss Cross, Miss Wired, what's in the other shed?
You want me to go outside? I could put the camera right on it.
Yeah, would you please?
Yep. Let me get the key to the lock. Hold on. All right, hold on. How do I turn this? All right, so what does he say that I have? Hello? See, my other shed was right there. It's gone. This is my other shed. What do I have?
I see my picnic table.
Yeah, my picture. Okay, sorry. This picnic table was original. You gave for $2 grand, your $3 grand, and that I just got cut.
All right, so obviously the items are not in the shed. There's no radio arm saw or band saw.
No,
or boxes
there's
of
not.
dishes. All right, so he contends now that you've got it in your basement. So can you show me that?
My what? My basement? Yeah.
Your basement?
Yeah.
All right, does he still have a grow operation down there, or that's gone?
No. The day that he moved out, I made all that go. This is where he lived, Your Honor. That's his bed. This is not his stuff. There is no dishes here. This is clothes, and this is stuff that, if we want to be technical. This is toolbox. This is my tanning bed. I don't have any dishes. I have no dishes. I wish I had the dishes, Your Honor. I do. Because I would like mine.
Thank you, that's very helpful. Why don't you go back upstairs?
I'm sorry. I'm a little upset with the fact that I have to show off my entire house to everybody on YouTube.
I'm sorry, but it was helpful to me. All right, I find the plaintiff has not met his burden of proof. I don't know where this stuff is, but she doesn't have it. I don't know what's in his storage units. There's a family dispute. I almost dismissed it when I read your text where you told her to go kill herself for the sake of her children. I find for the defendant, the award is 0. I don't know how this is ever going to get fixed, but in order to prove the matter, you have to prove it beyond a preponderance. I don't believe you've done that. He says one thing, you say another thing, to call it a tie, in which case the tie goes to the defendant. This case is completed. Mr. Thrasher, I'm sorry, I can't get my head around this. And I can't find that you are out $6,500 of your property at the expense of Alexandria Wired. So this matter is done. I'll send you a copy of the judgment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. That was very helpful, Ms. Wired.
Yep. Thank you for everything, I guess.